So, as you've probably noticed by this point, there are two different crowdfunding campaigns going on. One by Thomas the Amazing Atheist Kirk, Extraordinary People Daring to Actually Help Women, and one by Feminist Frequency, Ordinary Women Daring to Defy History. Now, it's kind of interesting because, as Anita responded, in all but name, that the TJ's project only exists because he wants to attack feminism and individual feminists on YouTube, specifically designed to discredit her and mobilize his viewers to abuse me further on social media because, it's always about victimhood. So, obviously, you can read for yourself what's going on here. Why is it called Daring to Actually Help Women? Because, I don't have any objection to saying, like, here's a history of some women you may not know about, although I know about this woman, and maybe help some of these third world motherfuckers who ain't got shit, unlike, worrying about patriarchy or some bullshit in the West. So, where do we go from here? Well, let's see. At the moment, 97k on the Ordinary Women, helping them, and Ordinary Women helping ourselves, we have 114k basically. So if we take a breakdown of where we were starting from a couple of weeks ago, we have Bukake Roulette here, which is a fabulous name. Noting that around the 15th of March, the fundraiser stood just under 40k. And from recent developments, we are noting that Tim Schafer probably made 30k. It's not confirmed, as you can see there. It just says cash contribution. It doesn't say the amount. We then have recently Ruth Ann Harnish contributing 25 grand, and apparently Cards Against Humanity founder has donated 25 grand. I haven't been able to find anything additional confirming or denying that. But anyway, we take those together, that's 80k. So obviously we go from the starting point here, add 80, we're coming up to about this total over here. So that's very interesting. Now the Harnish Foundation is a wonderful foundation. As you can see from the bottom right hand image, the rape culture, college students, beardy goon man in the background, pink haired, shrill feminist, I'm sure, in the front. Darky kid off to the left there, because it's all about the white people. All about minorities. Let's keep them to the side of the frame. Don't want them taking up too much room from our valuable white guilt appeasement. So the campaign itself, where is the money going? Very good question. Now apparently this is all for post-production, of which less than half of this money is apparently going into post-production. Now of course you've got to have 20% for rewards. That seems like quite a lot. Live action, I thought production, hair, makeup and wardrobe and all that stuff was already done, but whatever, 30%. The campaign itself, so apparently there's a whole lot of fucking money to spend on the credit card processing fees and the staff and production and Seed&Spark fees. I don't know how much Seed&Spark takes, but it seems like quite a lot. Presumably the campaign and staff and production is probably the majority of that. Don't know, but I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Fem frequency investments, pre-production, writing, research and fact-checking. So I'm wondering, given that she says it's already invested 20 grand, that they're basically saying, that 20 grand, that's the 9% in there about, which kind of makes sense, but it's either that or it's saying, money's going back in. But I guess that 20 grand makes sense there. Post-production, animation, editing, mastering. Now, I understand that there's supposed to be a bunch of animations going on to this. I guess that would be reasonable, although that is less than half. So presumably at this point they've got enough money to do that. Because let's have a look at the rewards for a second. We have Undying Love, of which 141 people have claimed out of unlimited. So, Undying Love, I can't imagine that costs them anything out of the rewards. That I don't know. Maybe there's some advanced technology for sending Undying Love that I'm not aware of. Sign of Defiance. Tell the world you stand with women. Your name gets credited on our website. plus everything above, which would be Undying Love. 306 have claimed that, which is interesting. More people claim that than they have Undying Love. Okay. Again, I can't imagine that costs anything out of the rewards section. Play the anthem. We'll send you a digital download of Ordinary Woman's original soundtrack and everything above. 155 people have claimed that. Now, I'm thinking a digital download, marginal cost. Presumably they're going to have the soundtrack anyway. I can't imagine that's really, again, going to eat into the rewards budget. Faces of Change. Here we go. Postcard pack of the Defiant 5, illustrated by Amora B. I quite like the illustrations, actually. Look quite nice. 263 of those claimed. That probably has some notional costs, especially if you're ordering international. Feminist Frequency Pack. Be critical of the media you love until it changes into something you love more. I don't know. So, Fem Freak sticker in there. Fun drive containing all the episodes of Traits versus Women in Video Games. Presumably only the ones that currently exist, not the ones that were promised that don't exist. And the behind the scenes video. Well, that could be interesting. You also get HD downloads of Ordinary Women as they come out, plus everything above. 580, that's quite popular apparently. There, again, probably some cost to that. But, yeah, I mean, it's unlimited. I don't know quite how they're budgeting it. I mean, presumably if people aren't claiming these fucking things, it's not going to cost as much as they budgeted for. So, next one, movie poster. That'll be super awesome. We promise. We just got a question mark at the moment. I don't know. I don't know what movie they're doing. I thought it was a video series. Anyway, a signed one. So we can see that signing the motherfucker is considerably more important to people than just having it. Only 4 people versus 73. Anita Sarkeesian. Well, at least we know what Anita Sarkeesian's signature is going to look like, even if we don't know what the movie posters will look like. Send a message to the man. But not the women with internalized misogyny. They're just heretics. We can't help them. Anita will record your choice of 1 of 3 outgoing voicemail messages personalized with your name and pronouns. Your name, love that. Your name and pronouns. So the example is, this is Anita Sarkeesian letting you know that Kevin can't answer his phone right now because he's too busy smashing the patriarchy. So I guess the customization is basically Kevin and his. So I guess there's other ones, smashing the patriarchy, video games are sexist, everything's racist, everything's sexist, and you have to point it all out. That's why I can't answer the phone right now. Plus all the shit above, not part of the digital reward tiers. Okay, there's a complicated graph there. I don't really care about. Freak your project. Now this is an interesting one. So 9A and 9B basically the same thing, except for one. You know, you've already been sold out, so you can't get it cheap. You have to pay for the $500 one, not the $250. Working on a game, film, comic book, or other narrative project, and want to include more female character and/or make sure you're portraying women respectfully. Who doesn't? Anita and the Feminist Frequency team, basically means not Anita, will review your project and give you critiques, feedback, and suggestions. Well, that would just be amazing. I don't know. You just come up with the most sexist thing you can think of, put it in there. Just I don't know. Everything's wrong with this. Everything. There is no help for your narrative project. It is disgusting, and frankly, we wish you didn't give this to us. Next one, Party Like a Rebel. XOXO basically in September. Nobody's going to that party apparently. Tier 11. It's the premiere. Not just a party. You go and see the screaming of Ordinary Women, and you get an exclusive guest list spot for XOXO Film and Animation. To attend the premiere is also included at this level. No one's in that either. Feminist Illuminati, Tier 12. Become a member of the Feminist Frequency's elite circle of patrons and will be credited accordingly on our website for having made a substantial donation. You also get a special thanks in the end credits and all digital reward tiers, postcards, FemFree, blah blah blah. Again, nobody has claimed that. Not even the people we know have donated huge amounts. But subsidized subversion. One of those has been claimed. One episode of Ordinary Women will be opened by announced it was brought to us by you or your organisation. Now, I'd not be surprised if it was Miss Harnish who was doing that. I mean, that would make sense as far as promoting organization, plus she gets all the rest of the shit. 10 grand, meet the women behind Ordinary Women. Ordinary Women, presumably. One or more members of the creative team, not Anita, will come to your school or organization for a screening and Q&A, plus everything above. Subject to discretion. I don't know. Limited to continental US. None of those claims. So, that obviously shows that most of the donations are lower tier levels, and also people don't want undying love for some reason. I don't understand. I do not understand why people would not want undying love. That's a bit bizarre to me. But anyway, yeah. So here's a timeline. So where we got to? April, February, so September, January, February, March. We're in March. Campaign ends in. Why is I going? No. Seed&Spark April. Begin printing, ordering rewards, editing and animation, music mix and master. August. Publish episode 1. So again, I guess that's where the screening of the movie is. They're calling it a movie, but presuming it's like a 10-minute video or half-an-hour video or whatever. And then 2, 3, 4, 5. So, if we don't have all 5 videos by January 2017, we'll know it's because of the horrible burnout that you get. So, in short, I burned out. In some activist communities, you talk a lot about burnout because so many of it sacrifice a health, relationship, personal life. I can well believe that, but still, as you say, it's 3.5 years. This is what you produced. Obviously, on this timeline that you've got here for Ordinary Women, you haven't given yourself that much time. So let's all see what happens here. I'm sure things will be just as interesting. If we just go back to the fundraiser for a second, seem to have gone over 100 grand now. I wonder what happened. Oh, right, the last donation, $4,000. That would have done it. I don't know what rape apologist piece of shit done that, but apparently it happened very recently. It's pretty odd, but yeah, that's about it on this. Donate if you can. I mean, you may not have $4,000 odd knocking around, but every little helps.